Hi. Um, Hi, this is Nate from Arcanum Academy. And whenever we have a meeting or a negotiation in English, the one thing we want to avoid is the pointing finger. So, what is the pointing finger and how can we avoid it? Well, let's take a closer look. The pointing finger is what happens when we have a discussion and we put pressure on the other person by saying you did something or something like that. So for example, you promised us free delivery, right? Now that might be true, but it's not a very diplomatic way to say something. So one strategy that we can use to avoid the pointing finger is to use the passive voice. So in this case, instead of saying you promised us, we would say, oh, well, we were promised free delivery, right? So in this way, we avoid that pointing finger. Let's look at another example. You should have sent the report last week. Ooh, very hard. So here, what can we say in the passive voice? We say, well, the report should have been sent last week. So this sounds much more diplomatic, but the intent is still very clear. Now we have to be a little bit careful with the passive voice. We don't want to use it too much. And in some situations, it's very weak and you don't want to use it. So you need to decide if it's right for your situation. But it can be a very good diplomatic language tool to use. Another strategy that you can use to avoid the pointing finger is to take the blame. So for example, you said that the order was canceled. And so that's the pointing finger, right? Now, if I take the blame on me, then I would say, oh, I'm sorry, we understood that the order was canceled. Or I could say, I'm sorry, I understood that the order was canceled. So in this way, I'm taking the responsibility for the understanding, right? Let's look at another example. You told us we had until Tuesday. And so for that, if I want to take the blame, I would say, we were under the impression we had until Tuesday. This means the same thing as we understood. So I could say, oh, we understood we had until Tuesday. But this is an idiom that you will often hear native speakers use. We were under the impression. So that simply means this is what we understood. So both of those phrases are very helpful to make the sentence a bit more diplomatic and a lot softer. Yeah. I hope that this can help you the next time you're in a discussion, in a meeting, or in a negotiation, and you have to avoid the pointing finger. See you later.